Check this out. It's pretty neat, huh?
Let me take you back. You're sitting on your couch, remote in hand. You flip through the channels, and there it is. Pawn Stars. Rick Harrison, bald and gleaming like a polished cue ball, eyes a customer with that trademark smirk. The old man crosses his arms, ready to crush someone's dreams. Chumlee, probably poking at something shiny with a goofy grin. You don't even know why, but you're hooked. Because Pawn Stars wasn't just a show about a pawn shop. It was a Las Vegas circus of history, human desperation, and hard-nosed capitalism. One minute, someone's bringing in a Revolutionary War musket. The next, it's a signed Beatles album.
Led Zeppelin 1 signed by the full band.
By the full band, I only see one.
You're watching strangers argue over a rusty tin sign like it's the freaking Mona Lisa. And we loved it. Why? Because it felt real, or at least real enough. The haggling, the stories, the expert appraisals, all wrapped in the glittering promise of finding hidden treasure in a back alley pawn shop. It was the perfect storm of chaos and charm. It was Antiques Roadshow for people who wanted more sass, more sark, and way more best I can do is $50.
You in peace.
Well, thank you for coming in. So I can offer you a bag of Doritos for it.
Come on, man.
For a few glorious seasons, Pawn Stars was television crack. Addictive, unpredictable, and just self-aware enough to let you in on the joke. But here's the twist. That golden era, yeah, it didn't last. All right, let's rewind the tape. Before Pawn Stars became the reality TV monster we know today, it was just a small family business. Literally. The year? 1989. The place? Las Vegas, Nevada. The shop? Gold and Silver Pawn, opened by Rick Harrison and his dad, Richard the Old Man Harrison. Fun fact, Rick dropped out of high school in 10th grade. Not exactly the blueprint for global fame, right? But Rick had the ultimate hustle mindset. He knew how to buy low, sell high, and most importantly, he knew that everything has a price. In the 90s, the pawn shop grew, but the real jackpot didn't hit until 2009. That's when the History Channel came knocking. They were looking for a reality show with history, personality, and a touch of chaos.
What can I help you with?
I got a gold coin I think you might be interested in.
Enter Pawn Stars. Now let's be clear, this wasn't just some throwaway cable show, it was part of a golden era of reality TV. The late 2000s gave us American Pickers, Storage Wars, Hoarders, a lineup of shows that made you feel smart, even as you watched people scream over piles of junk. And Pawn Stars? It stood out, because it didn't just show people buying and selling, it gave you context. Suddenly, that old revolver wasn't just an old revolver, it was a piece of Wild West history. That vintage Coca-Cola machine wasn't just rusty metal, it was a symbol of 1950s Americana. Rick, the walking encyclopedia, would drop random historical facts like this coin was minted during the reign of Augustus Caesar, the first Roman emperor, and you'd sit there on your couch nodding like, huh, I just learned something today. It was the perfect formula, a quirky family dynamic, a parade of weird, fascinating objects, a light sprinkle of educational trivia, so you could justify binge watching. By 2011, Pawn Stars was pulling in over 7 million viewers per episode. Think about that. A show about a pawn shop, beating out scripted dramas, comedies, and primetime hits. Rick Harrison, Chumlee, Corey, and the old man became pop culture icons. They did commercials, talk show appearances, even guest spots on The Middle and iCarly. Yes, iCarly. That actually happened.
Hey, Chief, I want to pawn my wife's watch.
As soon as I'm done with this customer.
For a while, it felt like nothing could go wrong. People lined up around the block just to visit the shop. Merchandise flew off the shelves. There were bobbleheads, t-shirts, mugs, you name it. The show wasn't just documenting the pawn business, it was building an empire. Rick himself summed it up best in an interview. I never expected any of this. I just wanted to make a living, and suddenly we're on top of the world. But here's the thing about meteoric rises. They're usually followed by a fall, and if you were paying attention, the cracks were already starting to show. At first, we didn't notice. We were too busy enjoying the show, too busy watching Chumlee get roasted or Rick drop historical trivia bombs. But then, little things, tiny shifts. The deals started feeling too perfect. The negotiations, suspiciously smooth. And those walk-in customers with rare Civil War swords or signed Elvis records, they somehow always just happened to appear, right when the cameras were rolling. It was subtle at first.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I found this. I was cleaning out some drawers and stuff.
Like when your favorite YouTuber starts adding just a little too much sponsored content. You want to believe, but something feels off. Reddit threads popped up. Is Pawn Stars staged? Why do they always have an expert available in 5 minutes? Why is every seller camera ready and mic'd up? And Rick, oh Rick, he'd deliver his classic line, "I have to call in a buddy of mine who's an expert on this."
Do you mind if I have someone check it out?
Not at all.
Okay, I'll be right back. I got a buddy who'll know everything.
Okay.
But suddenly, it wasn't charming anymore. It was predictable. It was formulaic. Because here's the brutal truth. In the early days, Pawn Stars had the sparkle of unpredictability. It felt like anything could walk through that door. A rare treasure, a total fake, a bizarre family heirloom. We were glued to the screen. But by season 5, you could feel the producer's fingerprints all over the show. The random magic was gone, replaced by polished, rehearsed interactions.
What do we got? Got something very special here. I have the Olympic torch from the 1980.
The customers weren't just random Vegas locals. They were actors, collectors, people with connections. Every deal started looking like a segment. Every negotiation wrapped up in a perfect, satisfying 3-minute arc. Let's be honest. Nobody really believed that some guy off the street just happened to bring in George Washington's original battle plans, only for Rick's buddy to appear on cue, appraise it, and deliver a flawless historical monologue.
1861 24-cent Washington. Very interesting.
But here's the kicker. We wanted to believe. We wanted the illusion. We wanted the magic. The first cracks didn't break the show. Not yet. But they planted a seed of doubt. A creeping sense that the treasure hunt was slowly turning into a scripted play. And worse, the family dynamic, the heart and soul of the show, started to shift. The old man, once the grumpy backbone of the shop, appeared less and less. Corey and Chumley, once the goofy little brothers of the operation, began flexing their "I'm a businessman now" muscles. Rick, the lovable negotiator, slowly morphed into a polished TV personality. The chaos was disappearing. The weirdness, the randomness, the messy human interactions, all sanded down, polished, and packaged for prime time.
This is the 1930s. You got to understand, refrigerators weren't in every household.
It was like watching your favorite dive bar turn into a chain restaurant. The sign's still there, the menu looks the same. But the vibe? Gone. And the fans, they were starting to notice. Every show has its tipping point. That moment when you stop and think, wait, what am I even watching anymore? For Pawn Stars, that moment didn't creep up quietly. Oh no. It jumped the shark with a cannonball splash. Let's talk about the celebrity episodes. You remember them. When Bob Dylan casually walked in to get his guitar appraised, or when Steve Carell swung by to, buy a vintage stapler?
What the hell is that supposed to mean? What do you mean a lot shorter?
Suddenly, Pawn Stars wasn't about pawn deals. It was a celebrity cameo parade. And sure, you could argue, hey, they earned it. They're famous now. But here's the problem. When your reality show about everyday people starts booking A-list walk-ons, you're no longer telling the story of a pawn shop. You're telling the story of how famous your show became. It's like if The Office had suddenly done crossover episodes with the Avengers.
Putting on the hard sell here. I was sold already.
Cool? Maybe. Necessary? Not at all. And then came the spin-offs. Pawnography. Yes, you heard that right. A literal game show spin-off where contestants answered trivia questions for pawn shop prizes. It was like Jeopardy, but if Alex Trebek was replaced by Rick Harrison in a leather jacket, there was Pawn Stars UK. Because apparently the British were desperate for their own version of Best I Can Do is 50 pounds.
Oh yeah. You don't know what it is, do you? I don't. It's a computer.
And let's not forget Counting Cars, American Restoration, Cajun Pawn Stars, all milking the same tired formula until the History Channel lineup looked less like a programming schedule and more like an inbred family tree. But here's the real shark jump moment. The one where even diehard fans went, okay, this is ridiculous. The staged drama. Episodes where Corey threatens to quit over a management dispute. Or Rick fakes surprise when Chumley screws up again. Or the team goes on some wild road trip to buy a rare item, complete with cheesy will they or won't they close the deal tension. At that point, you could practically hear the script pages rustling behind the camera. Gone was the scrappy pawn shop vibe. Gone was the genuine negotiation tension. In its place, soap opera drama, manufactured tension, and storylines straight out of a daytime TV playbook. The fans knew. They weren't dumb. Reddit exploded with threads like Pawn Stars is 100% fake now. Anyone else notice how every deal magically works out? My uncle tried to sell something there and they told him to leave. It's all just for TV. Even the memes turned brutal. One viral post showed Rick's face with the caption, "You bring in a human soul, Rick offers you $5 and a sandwich." Another meme joked, "Rick, I'll have to call in an expert to check if this episode's worth watching." When your own fans are memeing your collapse, you know you've hit peak absurdity. And the saddest part, the original cast.
That's what I just opened up to, all right?
Okay.
Rick, the old man, Corey, Chumley, They became caricatures of themselves. Rick, once the shrewd businessman, now just a meme factory. The old man, sidelined by age, and eventually, tragically, by death in 2018. Chumlee, reduced to comic relief, making the same bumbling mistakes over and over. Corey, trying to act like the adult in the room, but coming off more like a bored middle manager. The show wasn't evolving, it was looping. Stuck in a time warp where every episode played out exactly the same, only glossier, faker, and infinitely less charming. That was the moment. The moment Pawn Stars stopped being a show about hidden treasures and became a show about selling itself. Let's face it, watching Pawn Stars today is like eating reheated leftovers. You know the taste, you know the texture, you know exactly how it's going to end. And halfway through, you're already bored. The format hasn't just gotten old. It's fossilized. Same intro, same buddy call, same negotiation dance, same fake tension.
What do you want for it?
You know, I would sell it for $200,000, which I think is a fair price considering how nice it is.
We're not watching for surprise anymore. We're watching out of habit, the same way you might rewatch The Office for the 10th time while scrolling on your phone. But here's the thing, it's not just that Pawn Stars is predictable, it's that the world around it has moved on. We live in an era of raw, chaotic, unfiltered content. TikTok live streamers auction off thrift shop finds in real time. YouTubers buy $100,000 mystery crates on camera and don't know if they'll get a Rolex or a box of trash. Redditors crowdsource appraisals and comment threads faster than any History Channel expert can show up. Why would anyone tune in to watch a scripted pawn shop deal when they can watch the actual Wild West of online buying and selling unfold live with no producers pulling the strings? And the internet hasn't been kind to Pawn Stars either. There are whole YouTube channels breaking down the fakery, TikToks mocking Rick's lowball offers, and viral memes roasting Chumlee's bumbling antics.
My name is Billy, and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but yeah, I'd probably say this is $35,000 to $37,000.
It's not just predictable. It's become a self-parody, a relic of a TV era that's too polished, too careful, too slow. Rick isn't the sharp, streetwise negotiator anymore. He's a cartoonish symbol of corporate reality TV. Chumlee isn't the lovable underdog. He's a mascot for a show stuck in an endless loop. And the shop itself, it's a Vegas souvenir stand. You don't go there to make a deal. You go there to buy a t-shirt and snap a selfie. In a world that craves authenticity, chaos, and speed, Pawn Stars feels like a museum exhibit of how reality TV used to work. And the saddest part, we don't even get mad anymore. We just scroll past. So, can Pawn Stars be saved? Honestly, probably not. It's a polished, predictable machine now. The days of wild, chaotic, authentic deals are gone.
More or less, deal done. And that's why I do that at the end of every deal.
Replaced by scripted setups and tourist trap vibes. But maybe that's okay. Maybe Pawn Stars was always meant to be a snapshot of a moment, a time when reality TV still felt a little bit real. We'll remember the golden days, Rick's sharp deals, the old man's grumbles, Chumlee's goofiness, and the thrill of not knowing what was coming through that door. Now, we know, and that's why it'll never be the same. But hey, if you've enjoyed this dive into the rise and fall of Pawn Stars, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into the absurd world of pop culture, and drop a comment below. What's the worst lowball offer Rick's ever made? And would you take $50? Catch you in the next one.